Film Geeks? My name is Trevor and welcome to my channel. Black Panther Wakanda Forever finally hit theaters, making it the 30th MCU movie. There are literally 30 movies inside the MCU, so we're going to rank all 30 of these movies from the worst to the best. Jump your way down below in the comment section. Let me know your top 5, top 30 favorite MCU movies. What comes in at number 1? Let me know all that down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Lots more MCU content coming this weekend. I'm excited for all of it. Let's hop into this. So in last place is going to be Thor: Love and Thunder. My least favorite movie of the year. Easily my least favorite MCU movie. Just a schlock fest and a movie I was so excited for left me incredibly disappointed. At number 29, Eternals. I was really thinking this was going to be the Best Picture nominee. I was so excited going into it, and just too much in one movie. Too many different characters trying to be explored within a 2.5 hour runtime. I felt like, and I still stand by this, would have worked much better as a series rather than a movie. We got a movie. It's at number 29. At number 28 is going to be The Incredible Hulk, the black sheep of the MCU. This guy's not even playing the Hulk anymore. Is there really any other explanation? At number 27 is going to be Iron Man 2. I love the first Iron Man. Iron Man 3 is pretty solid, but Iron Man 2, again, it's like the black sheep of the Iron Man movies. They really felt rushed, and this movie was rushed. Jon Favreau had like a year turnaround time to come up with a script and make this movie and get it out, and it just feels like it. I don't watch this one all that often, but definitely like it more than the others. At number 26 is going to be Thor: The Dark World. I have some fun with this movie, and I really love the relationship between Loki and Thor. I love a good brotherhood story, and at the end, when like Loki dies and Thor is crying for him, honestly, it hits me in the feels. At number 25, Captain Marvel. I like this movie to an extent, but I also don't like this movie to an extent, but I love young Nick Fury, and I hope we get more of young Nick Fury. This movie just is a little bit long sometimes, a little bit boring, but Brie Larson does a pretty fine job as Captain Marvel, and young Nick Fury, he really makes this movie for me. At number 24 is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think the biggest reason for this movie being so low is because it came after Infinity War, so one of the best movies I've seen in my life in Infinity War, then we got Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it was just meh. Not the biggest fan of this one. Ghost, a very uncompelling villain. I am not looking forward to Ghost being in the Thunderbolts. We'll see how it turns out. At number 23, prepare for my hottest take of the day, Captain America: The First Avenger. I have not seen this movie since I was about 12 years old. I definitely need to go back and give it a rewatch, but fast forwarding and montaging through an entire war and the whole like Captain America's going on tour never sat right with me. I haven't seen this movie in over a decade, and it still leaves a sour taste in my mouth. 22, Doctor Strange. I don't know what it is. I've never found myself enjoying this movie, and I love the character of Doctor Strange, but every time I go and watch this one, I fall asleep within the first 15 minutes. At number 21, this might be my hottest take, Spider-Man: Far From Home. I think Mysterio is not the greatest villain, and this was lower, but after watching No Way Home and everything Mysterio did in Far From Home led to No Way Home, made me like Mysterio just a little bit more, brought this movie up just a couple notches, but Far From Home for me was honestly a miss. At number 20, Iron Man 3. This one is fun enough while it does have its fair share of mistakes. Every time I watch it, I do have a smile on my face, especially that third act. It's badass, it's awesome, but the decisions made in this movie, like Tony Stark like looking like he's not going to be Iron Man anymore, Pepper getting powers, and like, that's all just gets washed away after this movie. It never made too much sense, but it's still enjoyable enough for me. Number 19, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. This one's fun. From this point on, I really do enjoy all this movie. Sam Raimi creates a very good, weird MCU movie. Now, there is some problems left in there, but I love the Scarlet Witch, and I think she's one of the best MCU villains, and she is the best part about this movie, in my opinion. I'm excited to see what they do next with her and the character of Doctor Strange. Multiverse of Madness, it's a weird, creepy, fun time. At number 18, Thor. I believe that I have Thor the highest of highs on anyone's ranking, and the first Thor, I like getting to explore the world of like these mythical god Viking people. I think it's just so awesome, so interesting. While it is a little bit cheesy, but Thor coming to Earth, smashing a coffee cup on the ground, that'll never not make me laugh. Number 17, Ant-Man, the lowest stakes MCU movie. They're literally like running around on a train set, and it's really done well. And I would say this is one of the more creative movies in a way they use the scale and size of like an ant to its advantage. A toy train set looking like it's going 1,000 miles per hour when it's really not. I think it's one of the more creative ones, a lower stakes one. I love Paul Rudd, a criminal turned to a hero. That's pretty interesting. At number 16 is going to be Black Panther. Killmonger is a pretty solid villain. T'Challa absolutely carries this movie, but it is a little bit long, and at times you can feel the runtime. I think the action is great. I think the visuals are great, and the cast itself is great. I just don't go back and rewatch this one all that much. I still really enjoy this one. It's just at times that runtime is felt, and it feels a little bit long and dragged out. Number 15, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This one's just fun. Every time I toss this movie on, I'm singing, clapping, having a good time, just having a smile on my face, and I think that's exactly what James Gunn was trying to to do. I don't take it too seriously, and I have a hell of a fun time with this one. At number 14, Thor Ragnarok. The first time I saw this movie, I laughed uncontrollably hard, and I was honestly getting upset of how hard I was laughing. But this one definitely is a comedy first, and when you go back and rewatch comedies, they aren't as funny. This is one of the best times we get to see Thor, and this is the best we get to see Thor in his own movies. I think this movie works on a comedy level. I think it works in introducing all these different characters, and I just think it works on another brotherhood story between Thor and Loki. I love Ragnarok. At number 13 is going to be Black Widow. This one is a lower stakes one because obviously we know Natasha Romanoff's going to live. The villains are just really lackluster, but introducing Yelena and Red Guardian is what makes this movie really work. I'm so excited to see these characters again in the MCU, and when we do, it's just going to bring a big smile on my face. A lower stakes MCU movie that I can just have fun with, toss on, really not pay too much attention, and have a good time. Taskmaster is a depressing and unfortunate villain, the way the kind of turnaround we got with it. Its powers are cool, but who was behind the mask, I was not a big fan of. Number 12, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, a spy espionage Marvel movie. What's not to love here? Bucky Barnes being the villain who shows up like 40 minutes into the movie. On your left is originated from this movie, getting introduced to Falcon in here, and Steve Rogers being this like, I guess not lower stakes MCU movie because like he's fighting his best friend, but there's not a world-ending villain in this movie. It is a personal story, and you can feel that. And I'm with you till the end of the line. At number 11, the first Iron Man. This movie set up everything for the MCU, and everything we know and love of the MCU is thanks to this movie, and really thanks to Robert Downey Jr. Every time I watch this movie, I just have a fun time just because of RDJ. He's absolutely hilarious, and please, no gang signs. Breaking us into the top 10, Guardians of the Galaxy. I absolutely love this movie. I think it's so weird and wacky, and James Gunn has his flair all over this movie. He's the only person to be able to take a different group of characters that really no one knows all that much about and make it work so well. James Gunn crafts this movie so well. I'm so excited for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This one's fun, great soundtrack, a great time with a great villain. Number 9, Spider-Man Homecoming. This is one of my favorite Spider-Man movies, and I think it works so well because, again, a lower stakes villain. Vulture's just trying to provide for his family, and he's one of my favorite MCU villains for that. Michael Keaton absolutely kills it. But Tom Holland getting introduced in this little Spider-Man origin story, but it's not an origin story. It's a dude just trying to fit in high school, trying to date the pretty girls. It has that coming-of-age vibe, my favorite genre for movies, and that's why I love it so much. At number 8 is going to be Avengers Age of Ultron. Talk about fun language. At number 7, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Shang-Chi is one of my favorite MCU characters in general. He's so cool, so badass, and this movie has some of the best hand-to-hand combat fight scenes in the entirety of the MCU. One of the best Phase 4 villains, and Wenwu, some great side characters out there. And it was overall the story in the world they created with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It was a lot of fun to watch. At number 6, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. While it didn't hit that emotional notes that I really wanted to, Namor is such a great villain. They really dive deep into his backstory. It make him very relatable in that he's trying to rule as a king, not really rule as a villain. And Riri Williams, Ironheart, my favorite part about the movie. I cannot wait to see her series. This movie, it was just awesome. It was great. And that post-credit scene, that's what got me in the feels. At number 5 is going to be Spider-Man No Way Home. This movie is really solid and I love it. But the main reason I love it is when Tobey and Andrew show up. You can pretty much fast forward to the beginning of this movie until Tobey and Andrew get there, and then you can have a kick-ass good time. Honestly, the more I think about No Way Home, it does go down a little bit, but when Tobey and Andrew show up on screen, there's nothing more you want as a Spider-Man fan, as a movie fan, as a Marvel fan. That is absolutely awesome. At number 4 is Captain America Civil War. Are you Team Tony or are you Team Cap? I'm Team Or. I just don't know who to choose. I love this movie because of the emotions it brings out of you. I'm sorry, Tony. He was my friend. At number 3, The First Avengers. I saw this movie 3 times in theaters. The first movie I ever saw 3 times in theaters, and I loved it all 3 times. I rewatched it just a couple weeks ago, and I loved it all the same. Loki's one of the best villains in the MCU to this day. This movie works because you're trying to bring all these big egos, these big superheroes together to work as a team, and it takes a lot for them to do it. And the Battle of New York, to this day, one of the best battles in cinematic history. At number 2 is Avengers Endgame. This one is everything and more I wanted for a movie. I've never been more excited for a movie than going into Avengers Endgame. I was over the moon excited, could not even see straight, and it's safe to say it delivered. While it is a little bit slower for the first 2 hours, it continues to fly by every time I go back and rewatch this movie. For a 3-hour movie, it is insanely rewatchable, and that's why I love it so much. But at number 1 is going to be Avengers Infinity War, arguably my favorite movie of all time. I've seen this movie 50 plus times. Thanos is the best villain in cinematic history, and I will stand by that till the day I die. And the way that the heroes lose, you don't see that in movies very often, and therefore Infinity War comes in at number 1. Let me know your ranking down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Lots of more MCU content coming in this weekend. I'm excited for all of it. I'll see you guys in the next one.